And we are live, Your Worship. Go ahead, please.
So, call to order. Just before we start, I want to thank a couple of councillors that attended the Ukrainian flag raising ceremony yesterday. I know a couple of other councillors were not able to make it. We have a new grandmother with us, Gammy, Councillor Yankov, and Councillor McCabe was heading up west for a wake. But I think that the response from the group and the community in general was very positive. And I think, you know, when you look at Kyiv, which is being surrounded by Russian troops, we have a mayor, his name is Vitaly Klitschko, and his council, and I'm just extending, you know, our best wishes in such a very dire situation. It's been a horrible experience for the whole population of Ukraine over the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and our prayers are with them. And with that, again, I want to thank City Hall for being there to show our support for the Ukrainian community. Quite a large community when you think of it on Prince Edward Island. Declarations of conflict of interest. Someone turn off their mic, and that concludes me too.
It sounds like Mr. Ramsey's in the mountains. I'm in conflict, Your Worship, on I believe, the second reading of the STRs.
Okay, and I think Councillor Tweel, you are too.
That's correct.
So we have two conflicts, Councillors Tweel and Rivard on second reading of the 4A. Any other conflicts? Okay. So approval of agenda. Moved. Okay. On mute, Councillor Tweel.
Your Worship, in the closed door session, there's an agenda item there I believe that should be discussed in an open forum. And that is item D, 199 Grafton Street. I believe that it's in the public's interest. There's no reason why we can't discuss that in the public forum. I mean, it's being discussed on social media anyway. So I do believe that it should be discussed in an open forum for a variety of reasons. And I'd like to move that it be moved to the public portion of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
And Your Worship, there is a legal opinion, Your Worship, which needs to be discussed in closed session, which is not open session.
And Councillor Tweel, another point. At our last meeting on this issue, it was in closed session of council, and now it was asked by council to get a legal opinion. We have that legal opinion coming back to us this evening, so it will be in closed for the presentation of the opinion. Any other issues, concerns? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda, moved by Councillor Bernard, seconded by Councillor Rivard. Okay, all those in favor, just pull up your hand. And Councillor Dron, yay or nay?
In favor.
Councillor Ramsey? Okay, Councillor McLeod. Okay, and Councillor Ramsey, can you hear us? Okay, we'll have to move on. We'll just take that as his approval. Okay, Mr. Kelly, we have second reading of 4A. Can you read that out, please?
Yes, Your Worship. Your Worship, to adopt bylaw P8ZD.2057, a bylaw to amend the zoning development bylaw to amend Appendix G, zoning map of the zoning development bylaw for 3 First Street, PID 276501, from low density residential zone to the narrow single detached residential zone. Be resolved that the bylaw to amend the City of Charlottetown zoning and development bylaw P8ZD.2057 as it pertains to 3 First Street, PID 276. No, I apologize. Your Worship, it's moved by Councillor McLeod, second by Councillor McCabe, that be resolved that the said bylaw be read a second time and approved as it was read on February 15th, 2022, Your Worship.
Okay. Shall I carry? Just put up your hand, please. Okay. Councillor Ramsey, you there? Councillor Drawn, yea or nay?
Yes.
Okay. 8-0 with
Councillor
Councillors Ramsey.
and moved by Councillor McLeod, second by Councillor Cabe, be it resolved that the said bylaw be now adopted, Your Worship.
Will it carry? Okay, Councillors Ramsey and okay. Got it.
Sorry, Your Worship, my laptop was dead on me there, and now it's up again.
That's all right, Kevin. We just went ahead with the vote. I just had to put you absent. Okay, can we go to the next 4B, Mr. Kelly? I think it's 4B.
Yes, Your Worship.
Yeah. Parks
Moved
and Recreation, two
moved
resolutions.
by Councillor Bernard, second by Councillor Deputy Mayor Cody. Sorry, he can't be used.
Need another seconder.
From Parks and
Councillor
Recreation,
Bernard
Councillor
and
Ramsey.
Councillor Ramsey. Got Councillor Ramsey. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Your Worship, moved by Councillor Bernard, second by Councillor Ramsey, that the Rink Engineering Specialty Services, Phase 3, 4, and 5, and the change order number 1 for the owner's project management services and scope of work expansion for Simmons Sports Center, arena and pool replacement be awarded to IB Story in the amount of $250,000 plus applicable taxes, Your Worship.
Your Worship, just
Do you
want
wish
to
to
say a couple
speak to it? Do you want to speak to it, Councillor Bernard?
if I have, yeah, just.
Go ahead.
One, I guess I want to thank my committee for moving this along so quickly, but number two, I want to thank the staff. I mean, we just had confirmation of all the funding here not too long ago, as you know. I want to put a shout out there to Frank Quinn, Mike White, and Dean Worth, Your Worship. They've been putting a lot of time into this, and we're obviously off and running now that we have the funding confirmed. We're out the door in good shape so far. Some of the things we're looking at is the possible supply chain issues that may be delays. So we're looking to get out front really quick, get especially the steel orders, because that seems to be where a lot of the delay is. So just want to say thank you to them for moving this along, and thank you to my Parks and Rec Committee, Your Worship, when we're off and running on this new Simmons complex. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Councillor Bernard. Thank you. Question?
Question
Call? Okay, all those in favor, just please raise your hand and I can ask the others. Okay, Councillor Duran, yea or nay?
In favor?
Councillor McLeod?
In favor.
Councillor Tweel? Councillor Tweel, yea or nay? Okay, so 9-0, and Deputy Mayor Cody absent. Next one, Mr. Kelly, could you read the next?
Yes, Your Worship. Moved by Councillor Bernard, second by Councillor Ramsey, that the design consulting services, Phase 3, 4, and 5, and the change order number 1 for the raised walking track arena redesign for Simmons Sports Center arena and pool replacement be awarded to DSRA Architecture Inc. in the amount of $335,050 plus local taxes, Your Worship.
Councillor Tweel, did you want to say something? Ask a question?
Yes, I do. I think the raising of the walking track to the second floor, as opposed to what was originally proposed, that came out of the public consultation meeting that was held back at Simmons. I think it's a great idea. The question I have is, how many lanes are we talking? Are we talking 4 or 5 lanes?
Councillor Bernard?
How many lanes on the walking track, you mean?
That's exactly right. How many lanes?
Well, you know what? Depends how wide they make the lanes, I guess. They have so much room up there, and usually the ones I've seen are 3 to 4. So I don't know exactly, Councillor, unless, and I'm not sure Frank does either, but I'll ask Frank there if he happens to know how wide the track actually is.
Good.
Go ahead, Frank.
Mr. Quinn?
Councillor Tweel and Worship, right now we are finalizing those details, and I don't have the drawing right in front of me, but it's in the range of, we call in the range of 8 to 10 feet is going to be the width of the track. So we will end up trying to have potentially 4 potentially 4 lanes, but it might end up being 3. There's spots that are narrower, so you do have a certain area you have to work in. So there's going to be a lane that goes one way and a lane that goes the other way.
Councillor Twill, second question, please.
Yes, thank you for your answer, Frank. If there's a possibility we can make it a 4 or 5 lane walking track, this walking track is going to get a lot of usage. I mean, a good majority of the residents of Charlottetown, from all demographics, are going to be using this walking track because of the access that they simply don't have to other walking tracks in the city of Charlottetown. So, if we invest in the front end, I think it's going to be well utilized, and it's going to be a tremendous investment. And people are really looking forward to this walking track. So let's not sell ourselves short. Let's go 4 or 5 lanes because, the schools are going to use it. The seniors are going to use it. Everyone's going to use it in all hours of the day. So I think it's a great investment. I really do.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased too, and I think as everybody is. We wanted to have that walking track upstairs, and staff had visited a couple of facilities, so I think a lot of people are going to be happy. I think you could probably compare this, Councillor Twill, to what's at the Cary facility now, in width and in lanes. I think this would be very similar to that. But the tracks is I think it adds to the overall facility for a lot of different events. Whether it holds more people to watch events, a number of people can get exercise through the day and the evening. And this is going to be a year-round facility. A lot of people seem to, we talk about this as a rink, but it's really a multi-purpose facility.
Yeah.
The traffic is done right. We plan on doing this thing, and we plan on doing it right. So people will be pleased when they're done with this. So thank you.
Councillor Twill, just wrap up supplementary. Yeah.
Right. Now, I just want to reiterate how important this is, because this feature here, to my mind, was a game changer as far as community support. The community really supported having the indoor walking track, and whether it's passive or active recreation, it's going to be well utilized. So please make sure you can add as many lanes as possible. It'll be well utilized.
And thank you for that. I think, Councillor Twill, to me, every bit of it's important. The pool is important. The size of the dress rooms are important. The rink board's important. Everything in this facility is important, not just one off. So we're off to a great start. We got good funding confirmed. We got a head start on design. So we're getting ready to go out to tender here now. And looking forward to it. I think we'll all be excited.
It's good news, and it's very good news, because of the community room access for soccer during the summer to use the dressing rooms in the north end. Okay, question?
Question called.
Okay, question called. Please put up your hand so I can see who. Okay, Councillor Twill, Councillor Duran, yay or nay?
In favor.
Councillor McLeod, yay or nay?
In favor.
Okay, and I do not see the deputy, so he's absent, 9-0. Okay, Mr. Kelly, there is 4C.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bernard, and the staff, Frank, Quinn, Dean Worth, and also, I believe, Mike White. Thanks, guys. Read the next one, sir. Public Works Resolutions.
Yes, Your Worship. Moved by Councillor McLeod, second by Councillor Duffy, that as per the conditions of the public tender for Harley Street reconstruction, that the submission of Island Coastal Services in the amount of $432,413 plus all applicable taxes be accepted, and that this work will be carried out under the 2022-2023 Public Works Capital Program.
Councillor McLeod, do you want to say anything? I have a question from Councillor Twill. Are you ready to answer any questions, sir?
No, just that it's good to get it on the go. We've been waiting for this project, and between Water and Sewer and Public Works, we're itching to go on it. So we're good to go.
Councillor Twill, do you have a question for Councillor McLeod?
Yes, I do. In terms of this particular expenditure, does this cover the cost for the reconstruction of water and sewer infrastructure as well as above ground. So this amount that we're seeing here in this resolution, is that for both?
Yes, it is.
I thought it was a lot more than that. I thought, between public works and water and sewer, it was up around 2 million.
If Scott Adams is there, he can answer that, I guess, Mr.
Water and sewer has money in their budget too,
Yeah, but I'm
It's
not
in the
sure.
budget.
$1 million.
Let Scott answer it there if he's there.
Is he, Scott, Mr. Adams? He is on the line.
Yes, Richard, he's there.
Mr.
Can you
Adams?
guys hear me now?
Yes, go ahead,
Yes,
Scott.
we can.
There, perfect.
Scott, Mr. Adams, did you hear Councillor Tweel's question? Does
I
this include
did.
both? And I believe it does, but can you answer it? from
Yes,
your
I can.
professional point of
Yes,
view?
Your Worship. So
Thank
yes,
you.
this includes both water and sewer and public works infrastructure upgrades. So everything underground and above ground is included in this work.
Okay. Comment or question there, Councillor Tweel?
Question.
To Mr. Adams?
Sure.
You have to go through Mr. Councillor McLeod, is it already he asked the question
Yes,
to?
he can ask
Okay.
Mr. Adams, yes.
Go ahead there, Mr.
So the
Councillor
question, excuse me. So the second question I have, is the sidewalk will be installed on the south side of Hurley Street as well, correct?
No, it wouldn't be the south side, it would be either the east or west.
It
South
would
side.
it would be on the side with the new apartment building that was just built.
That's
So,
west.
so that's the south side, correct?
Yes, yeah, south side.
East side.
South side. Okay, all right.
Good.
And one other question, Your Worship. Scott, does that
Supplementary?
also include new lighting for the street?
No, this does not include new lighting. New lighting would be installed on the maritime electric utility poles, just like any other street. So, if it's something we'll look at to clean up the street as the street's completed, just so that it looks well lit up when it's done at the end of the construction season.
Good point, Scott. Yeah. Okay. Councillor Bernard, question for Mr. Adams or Councillor McLeod?
Probably for Richard, is Richard there? I'm wondering, because I believe in the capital budget, there was $1 million put under the water and sewer budget for this project too, so are they using any of that?
I don't think Richard's here.
I don't see him online
Scott?
there.
Can you answer that, Scott? How much is coming from water and sewer?
As of right, yes, Your Worship. As of right now, I'm not exactly sure of the breakdown. I think it's roughly $600,000 for water and sewer work on this project. Yes, Richard would be, once he's available, he'd be able to determine that final number.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Question? Councillor Tweel, you call the question?
I did, Your Worship.
Okay. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And I have Councillor Duran, yea or nay?
In favor.
Okay. Councillor McLeod, yea or nay?
In favor.
And I don't see the deputy, so it's 9-0 again. Okay. Deputy. Okay. Mr. Kelly, can you read the... Okay, this is D. Councillors Tweel and Reverd have to exit the meeting because it's...
No,
hold on.
we-
Yeah. Sorry, not yet, sorry. I forgot we have a
Another
purchase
one.
of Hepa filtration units. Sorry about that, Councillor. I think Councillor Rivard left us, did he? Yeah, Councillor Rivard, you can vote on this. Okay,
So, Your
wanna
Worship,
read the
moved by
resolution?
Councillor McLeod, second by Councillor Duffy, that the City of Charlottetown purchase 33 portable HEPA filtration units for the City of Charlottetown municipal buildings through the provincial government public tender process that was awarded to J. Donald Hillside Holdings Limited in the amount of $1,200 per unit, totaling $39,600 plus all applicable taxes be accepted, Your Worship.
okay. Councillor McLeod, do you want to give a little background or is it self-explanatory?
I think it's self-explanatory, Your Worship. Thank you. There's a little description there on the back, but basically we were very fortunate to take advantage of the province's buying power, and we got the same pricing, so we're able to bring this into all our city buildings and bring a healthy and safe working atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Questions called?
Questions called. All those in favor, please raise your hand that I can see. Okay, and Councillor Duran, yea or nay?
In favor?
And Councillor McLeod?
In favor.
Okay. Not going to rush this time. I want to. So it's 4D, and it's the second reading of STR bylaw amendments. That has to Councillor Brevard and Councillor Tweel. You have to exit. You're in conflict. Okay.
Your worship, whereas the bylaw to amend the City of Charlottetown zoning and development bylaw PH-ZD.2056 as it pertains to its zoning and development bylaw amendment grace period was read and approved a first time on February 15th, 2022. Moved by Councilor McLeod, second by Councilor McCabe, that be resolved the said bylaw be read a second time and approved.
Okay. Shall it carry? Just please raise your hand. Okay. Councillor Duran, yea or nay?
Nay.
Councillor McLeod, yea or nay?
In favor.
7-1. And actually, it's 6-1 because we have
Deputy Mayor's not here, Your Worship.
Deputy Mayor Cody absent and 2 councillors in conflict.
And Your Worship, moved by Councilor McLeod, second by Councilor McCabe, that the said bylaw be now adopted, Your Worship.
Shall it carry? Yep. Good.
Pass.
That's 7-1 again. Okay, thank you. And we have one resolution left in the open, and it's under 4E. You want to read that, Mr.
And
Kelly?
yes, Your Worship, moved by Councilor Yankoff, second by Deputy Mayor's not here, can change that as well.
It's under
Put Duffy. Your Worship, moved by Councilor Yankoff, second by Councilor Duffy, that the City of Charlottetown accept the proposed community engagement framework as per the attached document effective February 28th, 2022.
Any?
Questions called.
Nope, Councillor Tweel has a question. Councillor Tweel, do you want to ask the question to the chairperson, Councillor Yankoff?
Yes, thank you for the work that's been done thus far. This is tied in, I believe, with the strategic plan. Am I correct in that? This is part and parcel to the strategic plan. It's going to roll out with this particular item, what we refer to as community engagement framework. Is that correct,
Yankoff? Councillor Yankoff?
That's correct. This is one of the many steps to that. And if you needed any other clarity, I could either defer to Bethany or I can defer to Tina as she's been spearheading some of these projects, if that is not satisfactory.
Councillor Tweel, did you want clarification?
Yes, I would, please, Your Worship. So this is part of the strategic plan that is being, I guess the request for proposals have already gone out.
Hey, Tina, could you, Ms. Lococo or Ms. Bethany, who wishes to respond?
It's fine. Through the chair to Councillor Tweel. And Tina's perfectly fine for me. I don't need Ms. Lococo.
And Paul's here too.
So,
I like that.
so there's 2 parts to this, and I will defer to Carly after I make the comments related to the strategic plan, because she's the one who's done all the legwork for the community engagement framework. In terms of the strategic planning process, there is an aspect of community engagement, and we are looking as part of the proposal process for them to provide what that community engagement will be specific to the strategic planning and official planning process. The community engagement framework that Carly and her counterparts in communications have worked so hard on is a communication framework for the whole city for all major projects going forward. And it is something that we would utilize as part of the process when we are doing the major SP and OP project, but it is not just specific to that project. This is a framework for communications that a city with of this size and magnitude would really require. And I'll turn it over to Carly if she'd like to expand on that.
Thank you, Tina, and through your worship to Councillor Tweel. It's quite operational in nature, It's built upon the IAP2 standards as mentioned in the report, and it's really kind of a must almost. It's almost a must across Canadian municipalities. It's that benchmark standard for community engagement. So lots is being done across the organization, but this creates a consistent corporate approach to how we do it. It's really a communications framework, it's a tool, and it's operational in nature, but this will allow us to provide a consistent delivery so expectations can be met, both to council and to our residents.
Councillor McCabe?
Thank you, and thanks for that explanation. That's what I was just going to clarify. I think it's just part of best practice, really, moving forward, to have some accountability coming out of the communications department so that they have a benchmark on where to work from. Would that be correct, Carly?
Absolutely, Councillor McCabe, thank you.
Councillor Ramsey?
Yes, Your Worship, this is something that Council was asking for the last couple of years. I think Councillor McCabe and Councillor Yankoff were spearheading it with there on this committee, and this is something that we're slowly moving forward, and we think it's going to be great for the city. Thank you.
Councillor Tweed, second question.
You have to unmute, Councillor.
So, a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago, we did have a consultation process where we went to the community and went through the public consultation process. Is this a similar format, or is this more extensive, more comprehensive? My first question. And my second question is, what is the time frame? What's the time frame when this is supposed to be completed?
Carly, just before you answer, Councillor Yankoff, did you want to provide some information?
No, Your Worship, but thank you. Just through Councillor Twill's question, I'll defer this to Carly.
Thank you. Carly?
Through Mayor Brown to Councillor Twill. In terms of timeline, I wasn't here last year, so I do apologize. But what I can tell you is this is the benchmark. It's the global benchmark for community engagement. So what it does is it takes all of the process along with the activities, some of which I'm assuming were done last year. So that's your open house, your town halls, your surveys, and it puts it into a process-driven approach so that we're reporting back, we have metrics, and it's really data-driven, qualitative and quantitative. In terms of time frame, we're already doing this in a lot of ways. So the work that we do in communications, we start with a communications plan. It's a strategic approach to how we deliver our messaging, and this is now integrated into that system already. What this does is it puts a stamp on it, if approved, and it allows us to sort of champion it beyond communications into the other departments and out to the public so they understand the expectations and we meet them accordingly.
Which will be done, which will be effective the day of its passing in council. So it'll take effect, although it's been done now, it will take effect officially after its passing.
Question called? Oh, Councillor Twill. Okay, Councillor Twill, just this is your last comment. We're just trying to move on. Okay.
Sure. Can you tell me
questions?
Can you tell me what the cost is?
Councillor Yankoff, do you want to yield to Curly on that answer?
Well, if Councillor, thank you for your question, Councillor Twill. If you're looking for the cost, I mean, we've only just gone out for RFP for one component of it, so I don't think we would have the exact cost yet, but I will defer that over to Carly.
Thank you. So through Mayor Brown to Councillor Twill, there is no cost. This is a best practice standard that has been shared internationally. There is required training that you can do as a staff person. I'm already actually certified, but much of the tools are already available publicly and online, so it's just a matter of utilization and implementation at this point.
Okay. Councillor Ramsey, calling the question.
Questions called, Your Worship.
No, point of order, Your Worship. Point of order, Your Worship.
Go ahead, sir. What's your point of order?
Well, I just want to talk about staying on the game plan here. We're only supposed to have two questions. Nothing personally against Councillor Twill or any, but we do have councillors saying that they're on a tight time frame tonight. So we should be sticking to the Robert's rules and to what we're supposed to be doing here. Thank you.
Good point. We're moving as fast as we can. Okay, questions being called. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, and I have to ask, Okay, and Councillor McLeod, you're in favor also?
Yes.
And Councillor Rivard, you're in favor, so 9-0. And Deputy Mayor Cody, absent. Okay, so we're ready to go into closed session. We'll have to get that set up.
So if you wish to move the motion to go into closed session, Your
We need a
Worship.
motion now to go into closed session. I'm looking for that motion.
119.1, Your Worship, B, D, and E.
So move in, number 5, motion to move into a closed session as per section 119, subsection 1B, D, and E of the Municipal Government Act of Prince Edward Island. Moved by Councillor Ramsey, seconded by Councillor Duffy. All those in favor? Okay. Councillor McLeod, you're in favor?
In favor.
Okay, and Councillor Duran in favor. Okay, we'll get switched over and
Just
start.
stand by, Your Worship, please.